So in this video, we're going to be looking at rendering from 3dsmax. So we're going to render an image sequence that we're going to use in After Effects when we do the compositing. So before we start, let's just save our project again. So I'm going to go to this button here at the top, and then I'm going to go to Save As, and let's call this one version 6. Okay, there we go. Hit save. Then there's a few settings that we're going to check just to make sure everything is perfect, and then we're going to do the render. So first of all, go to rendering here at the top, and then go to render setup. And first of all, we're going to go to the common tab, and we're going to scroll all the way down to assign renderer. So here we just want to make sure that our production renderer is set to V-Ray 3 or whichever version you are using. And then we're going to scroll up again, and we're going to make sure that our resolution is 1920 by 1080, which is full HD. And then here at the top where it says time output, we want to make sure that it's set to active time segment. So let's go to the next tab, which is the V-Ray tab. The only thing that you want to change here, if you go down to image sampler, you'll see that the type will probably be on adaptive by default. And we want to change this to adaptive subdivision. And the reason we change it to this is because this will give us great quality in our motion blur. Right, so with that set, we're going to scroll down, and then under camera, we want to enable motion blur, and we're going to leave all these settings default, so that should be fine. Okay, next we're going to go to the GI tab, or the global illumination, and here we're going to enable GI, so just make sure that's ticked. And then here at the bottom, make sure that ambient occlusion is also ticked. If you don't see the ambient occlusion box here at the bottom, just make sure that you click on this basic button here at the top, and it will give you the advanced options. Okay, let's just move that out of the way. And then we're going to go to rendering again here at the top, and we're going to go to environment. So make sure that your environment map is switched off here. So that was the background here in the viewport, and we don't really need that for the render. Okay, so with that switched off, close this window. And let's go back to our render setup. Okay, then we're going to go back to the common tab, and then we're going to scroll down a little bit till we get to render output. And this is basically where you'll tell 3dsmax where to save your renders. Okay, so you're going to click on files, and this should open Explorer or your browse window. And then I'm going to go to the folder that I'm using, and I've created a folder here called renders, so you can obviously save it anywhere you like. And then under renders, I'm just going to create a new folder and call this 01. So if we need to re-render, then we've got different versions of our render as well. So let's go into that folder, and let's give it a name, render 01. That should be fine. And then where it says save as type, we're going to change that to PNG image file. So that means it's going to save an image sequence with the PNG extension. Okay, next you want to click on setup here on the side, very importantly. And we want to make sure that alpha channel is ticked, and this will obviously give us an alpha channel to work with in After Effects. And then you can click on OK. Then you can click on save. Okay, before you hit the render button, just make sure that you have your camera viewport selected. So you can see there's an orange box around this, and then we're going to click the render button here at the bottom. So I'm going to give it a few minutes or a few hours probably, and I will see you guys in the next video.